Milked cows for 20 years, had a motel for 20 years, and just did whatever Ian said. Why we came here, decided, well, I might as well move while we can still alive.
Yeah.
Well, I got bowel cancer and had breast cancer, and the house we had an irrigation system and a bore and stuff, and I could see that I was not going to be able to handle that in the future.
So yeah, that was, and I think the garden got too much after my knee replacement. So yeah, that was it was fine.
Yeah, it was quite exciting, really, because a lot of new people and no worries. So the point was there was no facilities here at all virtually. When we moved in, it was just no.
Yeah, the fees are supposed to cover all the. There was going to be a pavilion. There was going to be a special swimming pool. There was going to be a gym.
Restaurant.
The pickleball court's been done. Bowling green, well, that's been done. And and there's going to be, I don't know, there's going to be library and hairdresser and everything in the new pavilion. We spoke to the village operator, and he said to us, oh, you don't have to worry. We talked about the pavilion, and he said, oh, you don't have to worry about the pavilion. I've got $20 million, and he said that was the initial cost. It's now gone up to $40 million, but I've got the money. You don't have to worry. We're going to turn the first turf in June or July this year. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, that's good, because it was said that the pavilion would be finished by the end of 2024. We would be in it. So, that wasn't too bad. It wasn't a real issue. At the AGM, the operator stood up and said, before I start, the pavilion will not be finished before 2025. Hopefully we will have our AGM in it in 2025. So I felt quite angry at that time. So when the meeting finished, I approached the operator and I said to him, we have written to you and asked for our fees to be reduced, but you have refused to reduce them. And he then turned around and said to me, we can agree to disagree, and walked off. And I thought, you arrogant bully. You, how dare you sort of treat us like that? So, yeah, it did upset me. Because we had written to him. You talk about the letter that we wrote.
Okay, we wrote to him and we said, you haven't got the facilities. We deserve reduced fees. And I said, some people who have been living in here already died, and they've paid for those facilities and never seen them. He wrote back and said, oh, yeah, I can see your point. He said, if you both die before the pavilion is finished, I will refund all of your fees. And to me, that says he knows he's overcharging us, so he's going to try and make up for it by giving it to our kids. I mean, it's our money and we want it now, rather than the kids get it.
To me, I just sort of feel the operator's almost fleecing us oldies. But I hadn't realised when we came in that it could take 9 months plus to get your money out after we both died. Or what happens if one of us has to go into care, or we both have to go into care? How do we pay for it? Because if he doesn't sell this, where's the money going to come from?
So he's got the use of that money for at least 9 months. After that, if he hasn't sold it, he's supposed to pay us a nominal interest rate, which will be a lot cheaper than a commercial or a bank road. So he's got a pretty good overdraft, hasn't he? He's got a cheap overdraft. The other thing is, we want the money to pay for a care centre because we've got to buy the care unit. So where do we get that money from? It's,
Does pay for your weekly fees and that too. There are houses around here in our village that we've been here 2 years that haven't even been sold.
Yeah.
There's one behind us. There's several around our area here that haven't been sold. And one gentleman just up the road went into an apartment, his house, and that's almost 12 months ago, and his house is not sold. So you don't know those things when you're buying into a village. You don't realise, and that's not explained to us. So yeah, where can we go? Who have we got to go to with these things?